Okay, hi all. I started this, pen sketches, uh, some gestures, and I thought I might as well hit record. So you see the first one here, well, in the making. A great trick to find cool references of very dynamic poses that lend themselves to these kinds of gestures is to look for imagery of dancers um, that will yield very expressive and dynamic results, which are very fun to draw and maybe to exaggerate. I'm noticing some autofocus problems. Let's see if I can fix that real quick. Uh, Autofocus off. I think the focus is good now. Yeah, looks okay. Okay, so maybe I'll do a new one. Let's see all these cool poses here. Uh, I'll go to my board. I made a Pinterest board with some dancers, very fit, athletic figures. Oh, here's a nice one. I don't know if I can show the poses, but we'll see. I like this one even better. Wait a minute. Yeah, okay. So a very cool, contorted, twisting pose. I can try to look for those concepts that are often at play in a gesture sketch. Such concepts are, of course, a line of action, which in this case is pretty much this line. Also, lines that communicate the volume a bit. This line wrapping over the chest, maybe finding the neck as a very clear stretch in one side of the torso and a very clear pinch in the other. Now the leg is coming up, so if I were to find the center line and maybe a little bit of the idea of the groin, so I know where the legs insert, then I can very quickly find a kind of a simple shape to represent the foreshortened leg, and I'll see a shape representing the foot, and the other leg is very strongly following the line of action. Let's see if I'm I've moved the camera a bit. So other leg, maybe it's not pushing down or backward too much, but might be something that I want to exaggerate. Again, some shape idea for the foot. I'm not too concerned with the size, but where I can, I want to try to capture sizes that, well, give me believable and acceptable proportions. Now the arm is stretched very much in this direction, and the head is lunged forward somewhere over here with a nice pointy chin jutting out. And I'll insert some cross sectional lines to establish a sense of the orientation of the face. Now, gestures often happen very quickly, right? It's one of those, I would say, characteristics of gesture drawing that you do it very quickly, 1 minute sketches. I personally um, like to just take my time. Doesn't mean that I want to stifle the sketch or take a lot of time inserting detail or whatever. But it's just one of those personal preferences that I have, that I can look for a gesture, look for some lines of, well, efficiency, and still just take my time with it. If need be, I'll lay something out in a minute or 30 seconds or whatever. But in this case, there's no need. There's just need for having some fun with these cool poses. So I'll just take my time. Now the lines are very light indeed. Maybe that's something to strengthen, at least for um, the camera. Usually I'll work this lightly. Well, I guess it's okay, you can see it. Usually I'll work this lightly and come in at a later stage to refine those sketches or those parts of the sketches and express them a little bit clearer that I like. So let's do another one and, well, at some point decide which ones we like. Oh, this is a difficult one. That's also a cool one. Ooh. I should name my board a bit differently, I suppose. Maybe something like dancers and actions or something. Okay, this is kind of a breakdancey pose. Okay, let's do this one. So this one is pretty intricate or interesting with the torso. There's a twist and also a strong bend. Um, Maybe I don't have room to put in the entire figure. What I see is the line from shoulder to shoulder that is a little bit angled this way compared to the vertical. And I'm also throwing in already that curvature that shows me how the shoulders are receding in space compared to um, the pelvis. So this would be kind of the maybe the mass for the torso, and then it runs down and gets more unforeshortened as we finally come into the pelvis, which is maybe oriented like this a bit, running down with this line of action, the center line from crotch to belly button to sternum. So, yeah, we have this kind of cool um, decrease in foreshortening, which is very difficult to capture. And then the neck, somewhere over here, causes the head to be here. And I definitely need to see the underside of the jaw. Something like this, I suppose. Now here we have the pecs, and then we have the other arm. Well, coming forward, I'll make it move upward a bit more. And now quickly try to um, look for the leg. The leg is coming down. It's pretty much in line with the shoulder line and coming down and forward in space. I think I nailed it. So I'm thinking in a little more than simple volumes, cylindrical volumes, ball volumes, things like that, to be able to capture the whole pose quickly. Shape for the foot again, which is pretty much directly behind the knee. The knee is pretty much here. Strong foreshortening in this leg as well, coming or going backward in space as we go to the knee. We maybe have some room for the other foot, so I'll establish the ankle and look for, well, in this case, quite a gestural idea for the sole of the foot. And, well, it's very much overlapped or intersecting with the female dancer here, which is maybe a little bit of a shame, but I don't mind. I did this mainly to see if I can understand and capture this quite intricate pose. And I did. I gave myself the mental exercise. And that's what, well, this session is about. Not too much concerned with the layout of it all. We'll see what I do here with this intersection. It's quite tricky. Oh, I see another very cool one. Man, I have to say I like Pinterest. It's sometimes quite AI heavy, and once you click on one AI generated image, then hundreds will follow. But there's still, for at least this topic, dancers and dynamic poses, I would say quite some good association. So it gives nice suggestions based on the reference that you click. So that's cool. Okay, this one. Let's see. Am I? Yes. I'm still within the frame. Ooh, there's an enormous twist and bend backward in space. I'll start this time with the pelvis. It's kind of central, it's more forward in space, and I can show a little bit of the shape, and now take that shape to locate my primary line of action, which continues down the leg here. Don't like it that I'm working on the edge of this block, so I'll move it over. Maybe just, well, I'll move my sheet. Can't move too much due to the position of the camera, but I think it's still okay like this. Let's see, yeah. Okay, so this is one issue, the pelvis, and we see a very quick bend where the line for the shoulders is turned all the way this side, and here we see the rib cage, and the center line bends even more aggressively. At the same time, this knee is coming at me, so I'll blow it up. I'll make sure that this line or length is very foreshortened, and then the whole calf is coming in this direction. A very cool pose, and I have to say quite challenging as well. Maybe you see that I'm searching a bit more and not as decisive with the lines. But I think by now I'm starting to find my confidence, and I can basically look for some of the final shapes And I definitely also want to show this kind of overlap in the twist in the torso. Yeah, with the knee here, the shoulder is disappearing behind the leg. He's also very muscular, incredibly, how do you say that? Toned or cut, or what is the word? That makes it even more difficult. And the foot is a little bit of guesswork as it's obscured by a white pair of trousers. The other foot is here somewhere. I can show this cross-sectional idea for the top of the foot. So I'm just looking for those lines that, at least to me, communicate something critical about the form, the position or orientation, the relationships of all these parts. And with that, I, at least for myself and hopefully for somebody looking at it, establish quite communicative idea of the figure without having to work for too long on it. That is, well, at least my take on gesture, that you find something critical, essential about the pose, and you find it relatively efficiently. I'm actively trying to avoid the word quickly. Like I said, to me, it's maybe not about being quick. Being quick might be a result of being efficient with it, but not a goal in and of itself. Well, there's still this arm moving upward. The other arm, by the way, is visible through the legs, coming very close with the fingers to the tip of his foot. It's further away in space. Again, here, what are critical lines that show some essentiality, if that is a word. I think essence is the actual word. So I think I'm kind of missing the essence of the hand here, but that's okay. Yeah. And yeah, I'm leaving the figures also undressed for now. Like I said in this reference, he has a pair of white trousers on. I'm trying to look at the figure or depict the figure as it would be without clothes on. Of course, not diving too much into detail, but I can always add this layer of clothes in a later stage. Okay, that was a tough one, but we kind of got something pretty decent. And at least, as always, we learned something nice along the way. Let's see if you twist your body like that. Yeah. Okay. Maybe one more. Let's see. Did we have some other cool ones? Uh, Maybe one more female figure. Yes. Okay. Very clear kind of counterbalancing in the spine. This is the neck part. It moves forward even more, and then comes this way. And I'll quickly start indicating some idea for the pelvis and also for the rib cage. Pelvis here, rib cage there. And in this case, it's a little bit shown from below. So we're looking up at the figure, we're low to the ground. And I want to show that through these cross section lines. And now also use the spine here and bulge it out. These would be the mass of the buttocks. And build from there my underwear shape. She's wearing something like a white undie, so that kind of helps with seeing the shape. Very curvy hips accentuated by this pose, and the leg is coming straight down. Now the leg has to angle back this way to make her keep her balance. The other leg is coming in front, across, and moving backward. And now I'm trying to find some quick gestural idea again of the sole of the foot, and taped or attached to that is of course the top of the foot, which flows into the line for the shin, basically somewhere over here. Well, all this is, of course, very loose. I am not too concerned with the exact likeness. I want to rather capture um, something that is very expressive of the pose and also the character. See a little bit of the mass for the breast here, but then very quickly the muscles of the latissimus dorsi come in. We see not much of the head. We still want to maybe look for placement of the ear, find the back of the head. I won't give her the hair that she has. Sometimes also maybe nice to mention is that oftentimes I uh, ask myself, okay, if I'm not gonna get the proportion exactly as it is in the figure or in the reference, and then if I want to make a mistake on what side of the fold line do I want to be? Do I want to make something too small or too large? And because of this upshot, things coming down will look larger. So the head and hand, I maybe want to keep a little bit smaller than I might instinctively think is appropriate. Because if I make them too small, then at least I kind of help exaggerate and express this sense of foreshortening. Now, with some more time and care, it's perfectly possible to get very close to the actual proportions. Uh, but for a somewhat quicker gesture, it might be worthwhile asking yourself which side of the mistake do I want to be on. Same here for the calf and lower leg. I'm going to make it grow so that this kind of foreshortening is expressed. Now I noticed that I'm a little bit off with the placement of the knee and thus also the placement of the calf. Let's just redraw it. Okay. Uh, so I think I'll pause the recording or stop the recording for now and maybe continue another time, or maybe I flesh out these quick gestures. Thanks for now anyway, and see you next time. Bye.